All right, let's jump right in. We're about to step into a world that, I know, can seem a little intimidating, but I promise you it's filled with this surprising beauty and a real intellectual thrill. We're talking about the world of advanced mathematical inequalities. And in this world, the struggle, well, it's not just part of the game. It is the game.
And this right here, this quote from mathematician Algebra Belabes, it just perfectly sums up what we're talking about. That feeling, you know the one, that eureka moment when everything just clicks into place. It's the fuel for problem solvers in the super competitive field of Olympiad inequalities.
So that exact feeling, that beautiful struggle, is what led him to create the book Advanced Olympiad Inequalities. And trust me, this is way more than just a dusty old problem book. It's really a celebration of that chase, the absolute joy of the intellectual hunt.
You know what's so fascinating about this whole field? The author calls it a mysterious simplicity. You look at a problem and you think, hey, that looks simple enough, but then you try to solve it and you realize it requires this huge leap of creativity. And that's the hook, right? Simple to look at, but incredibly deep underneath.
So, the best way to think about this book, it's not some stuffy textbook. No way. It's more like a map for a grand adventure, drawn by an expert explorer who's already been there. He's marked all the tough spots and the hidden treasures just for you.
Okay, so before we get carried away, let's just make sure we're all on the same page. What even is a mathematical inequality? Super simple. It's just a statement saying one thing is bigger, smaller, or equal to another. That's it. But oh man, from that tiny little seed, a whole forest of crazy complex ideas can grow.
So for the author, it's all about finding this perfect sweet spot, this balance between simplicity, beauty, and difficulty. And that's where you see the real art form. I mean, anyone can make a hard problem, right? But to make one that's also elegant and simple to state and provides just the right amount of that satisfying struggle, that's craftsmanship.
And let me tell you, he has put in the time. We're talking about someone who has created, get this, over 1,000 original inequalities. I mean, just think about that for a second. Over 1,000. It's just wow. And this book, it's the best of the best. A collection that really shows a lifetime of pure passion for the stuff.
All right, so the journey begins in Chapter 1, and this whole first section is about gearing up. It's your toolkit, because you can't just run off and tackle the big challenges without grabbing your gear first, right?
First on the list are the classics. These are your bread and butter, the foundational things that everyone in this world just knows. Think of something like the Cauchy-Schwarz inequality. It's like the Swiss Army knife of inequalities. It shows up everywhere and is just so incredibly useful.
Then you level up to the advanced techniques. This is the specialized gear in your toolkit, the stuff you pull out for the really tough climbs. You've got powerful tricks like the mixing variables method, which is this really slick way to solve a hard problem by, well, simplifying it one little piece at a time.
And then there are the geometric tools, which is where things get really cool, in my opinion. This is where you see these amazing, beautiful bridges between totally different areas of math. Suddenly, all this abstract algebra stuff connects directly to the shapes of triangles. It just goes to show you how it's all one big interconnected puzzle. Okay, so you've got your toolkit, you're all geared up. Now you've reached the core of the book, and I'd call it the author's gauntlet. This is where he unleashes this huge collection of his own original problems, and they're designed to push even the absolute pros to their limits.
And the variety here is just incredible. You've got algebraic problems with 3 variables, 4 variables. Some of them are symmetric, which just means you can kind of shuffle the numbers around and nothing changes. And some are non-symmetric, which usually means you're in for a tougher fight. And then, of course, you've got all the geometric puzzles based on triangles. It's a huge, challenging playground.
Now, for most of these problems, the book gives you the solutions. But what if some of them didn't have solutions? Imagine you're following that map we talked about, and all of a sudden, the path just stops, and there's a little note scribbled in the margin that says, "Here be dragons." Well, that's pretty much what happens. And this is the book's biggest, most exciting twist. Tucked away inside are problems that, when the book was published, were completely unsolved. These aren't just homework questions. They are genuine, open frontiers of mathematics.
See, at the end of every chapter, you'll find a section called Challenges. And it's not just a clever name. It's a literal invitation. The author's asking you, the reader, to stop being a student and start being a discoverer. He's giving you a shot to solve something that nobody else on Earth has solved yet.
And this quote from him just says it all, doesn't it? This isn't about him showing off how smart he is. Not at all. It's about sharing that incredible feeling of creating something and the pure thrill of the hunt. It's an invitation to join him on the journey.
So, yeah, these problems are out there. They're just sitting in this book waiting for someone to come along, to struggle with them, to wrestle with them for hours, and then suddenly to see that one connection no one else saw, to have that incredible eureka moment. And it just leaves you with one question, right? Could the next person to have that moment be you?